nice.
Let's hear it for Paula Madison from the Africa Channel.
Hello again. Good to see you all. Well, you know who I am. One of the things I did want to point out, though, is that while this is fun and exciting, it's also very serious and transformative work. If you don't know where you're from, you're missing a critical component of who you are. And as African Americans, because of our history, Africans in the diaspora, because of our history, we weren't afforded the luxury, if you will, that others have of knowing their roots. So we know we're from Africa. We know we have lineages in other parts of the world, but we can't point to the country or place. And so it's a very exciting time that we can use technology to answer that question of where were my ancestors before the slave trade? Not just on the continent of Africa, but the country and the ethnic group. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank all of you in the room. There's so many of you in here that I've met before because you've done stories about African ancestry. You've helped to spread the word and to educate the community on the importance of this work. So I want to thank you very much for that support. Now I have Kimberly Martin with me, so we're going to find out finally where she's from. Welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you.
And I was asking her before we came up if she was excited, and she was just so bubbly. And
I just wanted to build the suspense a little bit. So.
Do you have any ideas about where your mother's line comes from?
I have thought about it, and I've thought of Kenya, Tanzania. I've thought of all these different places, but I don't want to even think about it anymore. Just tell me.
Okay. So we did find your ancestry in Africa. On the west coast of Africa, in the most populous country on the continent. It's rich in natural resources, but oil is its primary export, and the group that you share ancestry with is known for two things, well, many things, but two of the things that it's known for is it has the highest rate of twinning in the world. Guess that wasn't good news. And it's okay. And the culture of your ancestors is pervasive throughout the diaspora, primarily in Cuba and Brazil. They're very strong Yoruba traditions. You share ancestry with the Yoruba living in Nigeria today. Congratulations. How do you feel?
Well, my parents are from South America, so when you mentioned Brazil, I was like, okay, that makes sense. It really just is amazing, just to have a place. And it sounds redundant, but to just know that you can trace it back, you just feel almost whole, if that sounds correct. I'm just sort of speechless. Now I need to go on a plane somewhere and go. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations. Let's just stand here.
All right, so Kimberly is one of, I guess now, about almost 20 people who have attended NABJ this year who have found out their heritage and how it goes and where they trace back to Africa. I'd like to invite Bob Bruner, who is the Vice President of Arik Air, to come to the stage now. And Kimberly, I'd like for you to draw the name of the person who's going to win the trip to Ghana, thanks to Arik Air.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Is this already spun?
Spin again.
Spin it one good time.
Okay, are you guys excited?
Can you get it open?
You just turn it. There you go.
Close your eyes.
I know, I should have pulled my own, right?
Bob is going to read it.
Lindsay Thomas
Broadcast producer for talk programming, North Carolina Public Radio, WUNC.
Is Lindsay here? So this is not one of those ones where you have to be present to win. Somebody else planned this. If it had been my plan, you'd have to be present to win. But anyway, we want to thank everyone for helping us and participating in this. And I just would like to acknowledge something that Bob Reed, past president of NABJ and who heads our African operations, told me that last evening at the founders reception there was a conversation about NABJ making a trip to Africa. So what I'd just like to say to you that's something that we're now working on and figuring out how we can present to you. And what I'd like to say is that it makes sense to me that the preliminary action is that you do your DNA search so that when we all fly to Africa, you know where your homeland is and where you'll be going. So that's hopefully the next big surprise that we'll have for you within the next few months. So thank you very much. Thank you. My Nigerian sister.